What's up, beautiful people? In this quick video, I will show you how we can actually use AI to find the perfect leads and also how to qualify them. So are you actually struggling to find qualified leads for your business? Then in this video, I will show you how to use AI and ChatGPT to narrow down and find the leads that you want to reach out to, where to find the leads, and also how to use AI to qualify new potential leads and enrich leads. And then I'll also show you how to create AI personalized lines within Google Sheets for only a couple of cents for thousands of personalized lines. Stick around till the end because I will also show you how to get 10,000 leads for under 25 euros. So outbound campaigns is my secret weapon. So as an agency owner, I know the feeling of not knowing where to find my next client or even where to find my next leads. Fast forward to today, I actually closed over 30 to 40 plus big clients through outbound campaigns. And in this video, I want to show you and break down the exact steps on how to find the leads, qualify them, so you can start sending messages, emails to them, and get new clients. So yeah, how do we use AI to actually find out what type of leads to go after? Let me show you how. So there are a couple of prompts to actually get more insights and ideas with regards to your target market and also what type of lead strategies to use. So first one is this one. So list common pain points faced by job title of industry. In this case, I use my own agency, noisedisruptor.com. We do performance marketing for mainly e-com brands. But let's say you don't know specifically your industry or job title for some reason, then what I suggest you to do is just put the website of clients you have helped. So like your case studies, put them in here, and then you'll get a nice little breakdown as well. And then you can use this as well. So with job roles, so we target this marketing company offering paid advertising. And then, for example, for like, let's say this is a pretty good suggestion. Let's say you have worked for Nike or Babe, then as it says here as well, you want to reach out to the CMO, not to the owner, for example. We're targeting a smaller companies, smaller brands, so not Nike.com. So we're reaching out straight to the owner and CEOs of e-com owners. So there you go. You get like a list of common pain points. Then you want to rank these pain points on their impact, the outcome of your offer or product. So in this case, our outcome is generating new revenue through advertising. You go from there, then you go to the third one. I think this is where it gets more interesting. Did we do this? Oh, we didn't. Oh yeah, here. Rank this pain points based on the impact on generating new revenue through advertising. So this is number 1, number 2, number 3. So that gives you more of an idea of what's most important to your target market, and then you can actually create lead strategies around that. So then we go to the next one. You just put here your text around your offer, or you can even copy paste your website text, which is what I did here. And then you use the following prompt, which gives quite some insights. Oh, then from here, you can use the following prompt. This gives you a more general idea of what type of or how to find leads on different types of lead sources, and I will explain a bit more about that in a second. But as you can see, this already like gives you quite some insights. For example, like here for some lead platforms, you can use different types of thing. And here as well, this is interesting. For example, like e-com brands, in my case, you can find them through online sales, e-commerce, that type of keywords. But then if a database also uses technologies, you can also filter out companies based on which type of platform they use. For example, Shopify, Magento, WooCommerce, that type of stuff. Then I use this prompt, which gives a lot of like great ideas, strategies. So here it already gives you a couple of outbound lead strategies to actually create relevant campaigns. The most important thing when you are sending out outbound campaigns, in my humble opinion, is how relevant it is. So if someone really needs your service or product, then obviously they are more willing to jump on a call or even become a client or whatever. So here it comes up with a couple of different strategies. So let's quickly go over it. For example, pixel detection tool, which is pretty good strategy. So you can, for example, find e-com brands that don't have a Facebook or TikTok or Google or Pinterest pixel, and then you can actually reach out to them. There's a couple of strategies. It's good to brainstorm and create some ideas. Not all of the strategies or ideas are actually worth it, or you have to spend a lot of time. So here's a couple of ideas, and then you can even go more in depth. For example, here, the more prompts you use, the more you specify what type of strategies you like, the IDs will become better and better. For example, here, it already gives even better IDs. For example, like target brands that have limited video content, brands not using chatbots. What you want to do here is find IDs that give you highly relevant leads, but don't take too much work. So a lot of these IDs actually require a VA to actually, for example, find inconsistent branded brands or find brands with low mobile conversion. But some you can actually do with AI or scrapers. So for example, like not using chatbots, you can use actually a scraper for that. And you can actually scrape all the websites and see if there's a chatbot on it or not. Then here, a couple of other strategies as well. I like this one as well. Engage with new entrants. So for example, brands that only started like a year, 2 years ago, really easy to find those companies. And you also know most of the times it's more relevant for them to pick up, for example, paid advertising in this case. Here it even writes down a full breakdown of how to find specific brands that use a specific platform. So yeah, it gives you a lot of like great insights and ideas, and then from there on you can build on. So yeah, here are the prompts. Feel free to make a screenshot of it. So yeah, I just want to quickly go over a couple of easy ways to get leads. First one, there are different types of software you can use that are specifically designed to give you the right leads based on your criteria. One of the most famous ones, Apollo. The pros here are like it's an efficient way to tap into 100 million plus leads. The cons, it's a pretty accessible platform, so a higher chance someone already reaches out to the same leads, and it's also pretty easy to get a lot of leads out of it. Then the second one is LinkedIn, or better known LinkedIn Sales Navigator to get leads. Pros, it's probably the biggest pool of business owners you can find there. Cons, it needs a lot of more qualifying. So there's less filters within Sales LinkedIn Navigator. And it's also a bit harder to get leads out of there. But it's definitely a good way if you have already used different lead software and you couldn't find enough leads, for example. Then the third one is just using lead sources from Fiverr, Upwork, or maybe some other platforms. And this is a great way to get highly targeted leads for your business. It's also the most time-effective way to find quality leads without spending valuable time sourcing themselves, qualifying them yourself. The cons, it's the most expensive way as well. So this is a quick overview of different ways to get leads. Now let me show you step by step, be it using Apollo and how to find leads for example for my own e-com agency, and how I actually qualify and enrich the leads as well to make sure we have the right leads and also we have different ways to actually reach out. So I'll actually show you in the next couple of minutes on how to use GPT in Google Sheets. So it's an easy Chrome extension you can download and install within your Google Sheets. And with that, you can actually get the right company name, the first name, the right industry, sub-industry, maybe even get product names of a website, and also creating AI personalized lines. So in this example, I'm going to use Apollo as it's probably the easiest to just navigate and go from there. So we just went through ChatGPT, finding our perfect lead. So we used my own agency, Ecom Brands, as an example. And then ChatGPT also described a couple of strategies to find leads and also to have a couple of outreach strategies. So yeah, we filtered out the following. Contact persons in the UK, C-suite, and then also the employees of the companies is between 20 to 500 as recommended by ChatGPT. Now we have a bunch of different industries, different companies, right? Obviously, we want to focus only on e-com brands. And I also picked this example specifically because it's sometimes a bit of a hard niche or industry to actually find those brands. So there's a couple of different ways to go about it. Same with the other lead sources like LinkedIn, or even for like, well, you don't really have this issue if you have like an own lead sourcer on Fiverr, Upwork, or anywhere else. But still good to know this stuff. So there's basically two simple ways to go about it. First one is industry. So then you just go fashion. So yeah, then for example, like fashion, consumer goods, jewelry, just list up all the different industries that mainly have like e-com brands or at least an online web shop. Again, you can ask our good friend, the AI, ChatGPT, for this. Another way to go about it is filtering by technologies. So ChatGPT recommended to use Shopify, WooCommerce. You can even like elaborate on that and ask a couple of different questions or different prompts about it to find different or other technologies. So in this case, you can just use Shopify and then WooCommerce and a couple of other technologies that web shops are using. I would recommend, as you can see, there's not that many contact persons in here. I would recommend to choose either option 1, where you just use the different types of industry, or option 2, where you go and focus on different technologies. I would not suggest to combine. You download this list of Apollo, and then you will have it into a nice little Google Sheet here. The benefit of Apollo as well is that you get a lot of other information. So for example, like here, you get the Facebook URL, company, LinkedIn, Twitter, SEO description, employees, all the good stuff, which you can use later on to actually write good personalized lines and give the information to ChatGPT to do a bunch of beautiful stuff with it. First of all, I want to show you one of the main problems you encounter if you start to do outreach yourself is the company names are not the right company's names. And the worst thing is you crafted like a beautiful email, you found their information, but then the company name is not the right company name, then everyone can see it's an automated email, and it's also not the best first impression to have. So this is the first prompt I'm using. So what this basically does is it looks at the company name given by Apollo and actually refine it and improve it and make sure it's actually proper. As you can see is here, for example, like this one is not the right name. In here, it will, for example, like change it to this one, which looks a lot better than this one. Then this is the second prompt you can use. This one actually extracts the company name from the website, I believe. Yeah, from the website. You can even use the email address as well. So you can play around to see what works the best. Most times what I do is if I really want to make sure everything's like dialed in and we have the proper company name, is I use this prompt first. And then in case I see a couple of exceptions in the sheet where it still is not perfect, then I use this prompt as well. So first this one, this prompt, and then after that I use this prompt, depending on how well this prompt worked or how well this prompt worked. So that's how to get the clean company names. So the next one is to get the right and proper industry. So as you can see in here, Apollo already gives you the industry, but a lot of times like retail or wholesale or even consumer goods is not really specific, right? And the more relevant your outbound message is, the better. So that's why it's really important to have like, for example, like a sub-industry, so you can actually give them a relevant case study as well. So just to give you an example, let's say or in my case, I have case studies with fashion brands. So we got amazing results through our advertisements for fashion brands. Then obviously I want to separate the fashion brands and actually send them a relevant case study. So instead of sending them a case study of how we helped like a cosmetic brand, we want to send them a case study of how we help a fashion brand. So in this case, Apollo also gives you the SEO description of a lot of brands. So I think, yeah, from the 500, it almost gives like 400, which is really great. And you can use this to actually specify the sub-industry. Then I have a little hack as well. So in case Apollo doesn't find the SEO description, you can use this code as well. So get the meta description. And I will show you how to implement it for yourself. So also the meta description basically gives you the first couple of sentences of websites you see. Oh, now everyone's going to email me. So the meta description prompt actually gives you the information of like the first couple of sentences when you, for example, search something on Google. You have like the first couple of lines. So this is the code. Just copy paste it in here, save it or run it, whatever. And then you can use the formula in your sheets as well. So this is the first prompt to find the industry. There's a couple of prompts. And again, I suggest you to play around with it. There's a couple of different ways I get the most out of it. But what you can do as well is combine the information. So you can combine the SEO description, the website, or the meta description, and then actually give all the information to ChatGPT and ask about it. In this case, I just went with only the SEO description because most times it's pretty accurate. So here, this prompt. So this just gives sustainable fashion and retail. I'll probably refine the prompt a little bit so you only get sustainable fashion because that will be super niche. But as you can see, this is way more specific than retail, right? Then this is the second prompt. This one I normally don't use too much. It depends like what type of industry or what type of lead you're after. I would only use this if the websites are the same since 2021 or 2022. I'm not sure which which ChatGPT uses in terms of information. But this one I would only use for companies that actually have a website for a long time and you're pretty sure about it, and also if the brands are pretty big. Otherwise, you get a lot of misinformation. You don't want that. But this is a really good one as well to actually find sub industry. And then last but not least, I use this prompt mainly to not only get the industry, but also filter out leads that, for example, are not an ecom brand. So as you can see, I just created this quickly, but like please write down not an ecom brand if it's not an ecom brand. And you can see here, not an ecom brand. So then I can filter out all the leads that I don't want to target or reach out to. And here also it's pretty specific, like outdoor furniture, business supplies, books, fashion, right? So like super specific and kind of really tailor-made different outbound campaigns around that. All right, so that's how to get the industry, that kind of stuff. Then let me show you how you can use ChatGPT within Google Sheets to actually write a first personalized line, which you can use in your outbound email campaigns, or you can use it to send LinkedIn, Twitter, whatever. So first of all, you want to collect as much data sets as possible. And with data sets, website, the SEO description, the meta description we just collected, the industry, the company name, all that kind of stuff, and you want to give those data sets to ChatGPT to actually come up with like relevant or like actually good personalized lines. So again, you can play around with this to really fine tune for your own needs, but this is what I use and what works pretty well. First of all, this is the prompt. So here you go. It's basically like a pretty detailed description of like, hey, write a personalized compliment. And I have two different prompts I'll show you in a bit. Then you want to collect all the data sets. So you use this formula, concentrate, to add in all the relevant information, all the relevant data sets you collected. And then it will spit out a nice, beautiful first line. For example, like here, just came across your website, Art and Hook, and your Seno fashion retail supplies are a breath of fresh air. Pretty good, especially for a prompt we haven't even tweaked yet. So you can use the outcome of here and then fine tune it with another prompt. That's how I normally go in terms of the flow. Then here's another one. So instead of the prompt I just showed you, we use a different sentence structure. So I saw on your website that you do XYZ, dug a little deeper on and saw XYZ. So then you get this type of personalized lines. I saw on your website that you do ebook distribution, Rosetta brands, dug a little deeper and saw your impressive range of titles. Actually pretty good if you ask me. So there, here you go, you actually open up. People think you actually looked at the website and took the effort to actually discover what their business is about. This is pretty good to increase your reply rate, get more people on the calls. However, you can actually do this on steroids. How can you do this on steroids? You can do this on steroids to actually make the personal compliment, the personalized line actually relevant. All right, so in the last part, we actually created icebreakers with ChatGPT and the information we collected through Apollo and also by finding the industry, company name, that kind of stuff. In this part, I will show you how we can actually make the icebreakers relevant as well. Instead of just giving the leads a compliment, we want to make sure we tie it in with our offer and actually make it relevant. So I'll show you the process here. I will skip a couple of parts, otherwise this video will be super, super long. But yeah, basically we got the icebreaker prompt here. I like this style of the compliment I saw on your website and dug a little deeper. So we're gonna continue with this type. And obviously in a normal situation, I will just use this prompt for the rest of the leads. What we want to do now is we want to collect relevant data sets we can use. And as I showed you before in the first part of this video, I think, or second part, we use ChatGPT to find different outreach, different lead strategies to make our message relevant. So, for example, our strategy for like engage brands with low social proof, with limited video content, lookalike ads, and obviously this is tailor-made or tailor-prompted, if you would say so, to my agency, my e-com agency. But obviously you can do this for your own offer. So here are a couple more: platform integration, pixel detection tool, all great strategies. What I have done is, for this case, I took two data sets. And the reason I took two data sets, the following, and I'll explain why, is one, how many Facebook ads the brand is running. It's pretty important. If they only run like, let's say 2 or 3 ads, then you know they're not making maximum use of their Facebook ads. And then also if they have low social proof. The reason I took this specific 2 data sets is, one, it's super relevant to reach out to those companies and tie in a compliment with them. I'll show you a bit. You can even break down and qualify leads based on this, if they're actually relevant for your offer or not. The last thing you want to do is spam companies that don't really need your help or are not relevant for you. Second is you can actually automate this. So I'll quickly show you how you can automate it. But before that, I want to give you a quick warning or heads up. If you don't really have much experience or knowledge in terms of like scraping and maybe even a little bit of coding, like myself, I would recommend to start with a VA to collect this type of information. So I would just suggest to find a VA in the Philippines, Ukraine, South Africa, like countries where you pay a couple of euro or a couple of dollars an hour. And then the VA can just go to the ads library for Facebook and type in the amount of ads. And here, say if they have low social proof, yes or no. For example, for the amount of Facebook ads, there is this tool called Epify. I'll just show you the strategy you can use. This will be a whole different video in itself, so I'm not going to show you how you can actually use this because it's pretty technical. But let's say you have some knowledge about scrapers and kind of stuff, you can use this tool for the amount of Facebook ads, so you can all automate it within your sheet. Then for the low social proof, I would suggest you to scrape, for example, Trustpilot, or scrape even the reviews on their own website. You can use Google Apps Script and connect that to a server and make an 8N, which the tool is called. And you also have this tool. It's pretty interesting. This is use double. You can scrape the whole page. You can even specify where you want to scrape from. For example, like this is the whole first landing page. And you can scrape, for example, reviews if they have it on it. I would probably just put in Trustpilot URL. Anyway, long story short, if you have experience with scrapers, you probably already skipped through this video quickly. Then I will use those 2 strategies. And then if not, I would recommend using VA. Then you go here. So this is the prompt I'm using. Again, you can play around with this to see whatever gets the best results for you. I'm just giving a prompt to ChatGPT to adjust the icebreaker and tie it in with the relevant information. You can even combine this with the first icebreaker, so you just have one column and it spits out different icebreakers. But yeah, I found the best results with this. Then in here, you combine the relevant information you have. And then as you can see here, let me just make this bigger. You can see the really good job. For example, like, I'm genuinely impressed by the extensive range of ebooks you offer. It's quite remarkable. I did notice, however, there's a low social proof and only 10 Facebook ads. I'm reaching out because I believe it can significantly enhance that. If you ask me, pretty good. I could maybe even like make it a bit shorter. But this even works well on LinkedIn or Facebook or Instagram or, I don't know, WhatsApp, for example, because it's pretty like relevant and super personal without you actually writing it yourself. I would only maybe add some extra proof to it. For example, like, and that, or you can use the industry we just collected previously in this video, and then you can give some case studies for the specific industry they are in. So this is how you can actually make your icebreakers personal, but also relevant. To finish this video up, I promise to show you how to get 10,000 leads for under 20 bucks. So I will show you how to do that. This is a form, and in here you can actually upload your lead sheet from Apollo, and then you can actually get 10K leads for only $20, as you can see in here. If you're interested in this, please hit me up on Instagram in the DMs or send me an email. I'll put down my email in the YouTube description and my Instagram as well. And then, yeah, feel free to reach out. Or you can actually put down your contact details in the comments. Don't be shy. Maybe some other people will spam you, but that doesn't matter. Then I'll hit you up through there as well, plus extra bonus points because you commented for the algo. Thank you for watching, and hope to see you soon.